everyone, and welcome back to Webcam Wrestling. We are back on the webcam. We are in a new redesigned studio space, so let's just get into this Hell in a Cell discussion. Wow, this is gonna be one of those moments that people remember. So Hell in a Cell, 2019. It's in the books. I'm gonna run down the entire match card. I'm gonna be a little bit quicker than usual because what I really want to talk about is the ending. If you have not been online at all recently, don't. It's just a fucking flame war just on every website. Anything WWE related, you pop on, it's just like, what the fuck is AEW, all this shit. Um, and I'm very much in that vein. It's like the next morning I've cooled off, but last night, like if I would have made my video right after I did that, like I'd have a very different tone. But let's just get into it. The first match, the pre-show, I did not watch. I will not be commenting on it. Natalia defeated Lacey Evans by submission. Interesting choice considering like earlier this year I was like, oh yeah, Lacey Evans, she's going to be booked to the moon. But she's been knocked down the card significantly, so that's cool. It's cool. I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't really like Lacey. I think her gimmick's kind of cringy. The opening match, a lot of people are saying it's like the best match in the show. I really like the match. I am okay with Becky winning. I don't give a shit if Becky takes it all the way to Mania. Uh, I'm absolutely loving Becky's championship reign. That being said, like it's just really unfortunate, like this to see Sasha like this, man. Like someone coming in like white hot, and then like a couple weeks later, it's like, and like a couple bad promos later, it's like, okay, we don't even give a shit anymore. Um, a person who I didn't think I'd ever see in a WWE ring again, because I was a fool, and now she's like a couple pay per views later, she's taking big L's. So it's kind of unfortunate. Tapped out clean. That's all there is to it. Um, After that, we got Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. I don't really give a shit about this feud. Them when they brought Luke back, I was really hype about it. Um, you know, Opportunities to turn it around. I don't really care about the relationship status between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. I don't see them becoming a tag team anytime soon. So, um, obviously Roman and Daniel won. I will say the little like, and Luke took the pin, man. Like they don't give a shit about people returning. But ate the big Superman, bounced off with the running knee by Daniel, which was turned into a spear. Very cool finish. I like the fact that it was a tornado match. I think that was kind of necessary. As much as I was able to tune in, it was because of that. If this was a normal tag match, I would have I wouldn't have watched it. Then now we're starting to get into these matches that were not announced for the pay per view. Maybe they were announced like the day of or something, like on online or something. But I had no idea that these matches were gonna happen. I know it was a big week in wrestling, and this pay per view just kind of got the wrong end of it. Um, but it's not that hard to announce a match as you're doing this. Like, whatever. Just do it like on online. Do like YouTube clips. I don't give a shit. Just announce the matches. But we got Randy Orton versus Ali. This is one of those like a veteran versus a new guy, but like the new guy gets kind of leveled up just by competing like with the veteran. Ali almost beat Orton here. He almost had his number, but an RKO out of nowhere, and Randy wins. Um, just let Ali roll him up. Like I think that's like the point of these kinds of matches, right? Whatever. Following that, We had the Kabuki Warriors. I'm sick, by the way, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm not getting through this that well. We had the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And I gotta say, um, Alexa and Nikki, I enjoyed their little tag team a little bit more than I thought I would. I do kind of wish it had something more, tangent going on with it. But I've been pushing for Asuka and Kane to win the belts, and like I'd almost given up until a couple hours ago when I was like, oh shit, I guess I got a title match. And at first I was like, okay, so the Kabuki Warriors are on. If you watch WWE, the good guys go on the upper left corner and the bad guys go on the bottom right corner for tag team matches. And I was like, okay, the Kabuki Warriors are on the heel side of the ring, which I was like, okay, I think that's like the final like flag to say Alexa and Nikki are faces now. Alexa being the one who transitioned. And then I started seeing the Kabuki Warriors just fight heel as fuck. Like, I don't know if there's like another one of those communication barriers with them, or someone was supposed to tell them, hey, be subtle about being a heel, considering you're not officially heel yet. But no, they're just heel as shit. I think Kyrie poked one of them in the eye. They're doing like corner jabs, like little taunts and whatnot. Just the way Asuka's carrying herself, I really like seeing this side of Asuka. Again, Kyrie, since she got up to the main roster, has not been able to do much, despite that she's every match I've seen with her where she's able to do stuff has been great. But we get this big ending where Asuka pulls out a Tajiri, Shades of Tajiri, green miss. I think Nikki. Of course, Nikki's gonna take the pin. But yeah, that's how they officially win the tag titles. And this is probably my favorite booking decision the entire night. I think this was a great time to put the titles on them. The way they won was heel, like it was a good heel turn thing to do, and like I like seeing the side of Asuka. I think the green mist is like a cool thing for her. I think that was a really cool thing to do. Um, and just like that image of them like a heel Kyrie kind of and her playing in the ring, like joking about the mist as they just got these titles around them. They look good with these titles. I kind of really hope they keep these titles at least till Mania. Like with how WWE seems to be throwing around uh, the tag and SmackDown Women's Championship, I don't think it'll be that much longer though. After that, we got the Viking Raiders and Braun Strowman versus the OC. I tuned out of this match. I'm not gonna lie. The the Viking Raiders and Braun won by disqualification. I don't even remember that, and I know I watched the finish. Like I think I picked up my Switch, and then I was like, okay, it's the end of the match, and then I don't even remember it now. All I remember is after Styles got his shit kicked, like him at the end of the ramp, like with his title, and then he like fell down. That was kind of a fun image. Fuck that match. Then we got Chad Gable defeating King Corbin with I think it was a roll up. Like it was one of the, like I'm all for like the roll up, like getting people over. I was just talking about it earlier with Ali. But I think because Chad, obviously, they're trying to push him a little bit. The Shorty Gable thing is so fucking cringy, though. If you're gonna change his name, at least like let the guy do like a promo about it. Like this, the way they did it here was, it could have been less cringy. Like the delivery been a little bit better, but dude, like, I don't think so. Like I don't think this was the way it should have been. This felt really flat. Uh, and the point I was trying to make was Chad could have won clean. Like, are you trying to push people like Corbin? He's pretty protected right now. I think he could have taken a win from Chad. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like that's one of the matches where I was like, okay, whatever. But this is a Raw match. This is like if I had a ticket for this show, I'd have been pissed. I would have been really fucking pissed. And I just lowered my little tab with all my match card things. Okay. Hell in a Cell 2019. Oh, and I was just looking at this fucking poster for Hell in a Cell 2017 with Shane and Kevin. I'm just like, oh god, we haven't evolved at all. Um, after that, we only got two matches left. We had Charlotte versus Bayley in the second to last match. Charlotte won via submission. Bayley's had like this little kind of like tantrum, but also like kind of did what Sasha did, where they had a close up on her being like really sad about it. And I was like, okay. I think I'm just kind of used to every couple of months whenever Charlotte doesn't have the belt. Like it's been like a decent amount of weeks now. Any time now she's gonna get that belt back. But she's at 10 times. They're very obviously just giving her the nature boy Ric Flair is trying to match his 16-time championship reign. Like this has been one of the least eventful years for Charlotte, you know, since Becky has been on the rise. And despite that, since January, when the year started, she's won like what 4 world titles. She beat Asuka. She She beat Becky. Beat Bayley. Just now, and I think there's like, was there one other time? I don't know, but still, 3 championship reigns in anyone else's career in a single year would be fucking to the moon. But for Charlotte, it's like a bad year. um, I'm okay with it. I like Charlotte more than I like Bayley. You know, Bayley's had it for a little bit, but the fact that she just kind of lost it back to Charlotte, like. Push Ember Moon, push Nia Jax, push any of these women you got, man. Like, it doesn't gotta be Charlotte for the 10th fucking time. Whatever. Final match was the Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. I think earlier this week I put out a big video on my main channel for Fandom Pop about Bray Wyatt. I am marking out for Bray Wyatt, which I have not done in a decent amount of time. If the thumbnail, the current thumbnail, or sorry, the channel icon for this thing is fucking Bray Wyatt. I'm a Bray Wyatt stan, and they got him out here, and this is one of those booked into a corner things, I guess, where they're very adamant about not taking the title off Seth, but then Bray Wyatt is like white hot right now, so like we got to give him a title shot, right? And he's like everything was, you know, going off for a good start. Okay, we got Bray coming out here. We got this cool ass lighting effect that they've added. I don't know if this is just gonna be for the Fiends matches or if this is like just cool one and done thing for Hell in a Cell. I was very happy with this choice. If anything, like, I want more of this type of shit in wrestling. I want fucking music. I want fucking lighting. I want the matches to be a little bit more cinematic. I'm okay. Like, I don't... It's fucking fiction. I don't care how much you mess with it. But the match wasn't too bad. There was, you know, usual Fiend spooky stuff. And then Seth, like, on the offensive. A lot of weapons. Which I didn't even mention. There was a lot of cool things with the Becky Sasha match. A lot of cool innovations. The Meteora onto the ladder, and then like the cool spot where Becky jumped Meteora into the table. Yeah, Sasha, like, give her props for like running Hell in a Cell and happening in a lot of, same with Becky, like a lot of cool things I've never seen before. That running knee thing, like, it's different, like, and I was just kind of like on the edge of my seat, like, oh, what's gonna happen? And it led up to a fucking drop kick, but it was cool. Um, anyway, but with this match, there was a lot more just kind of usual kendos and whatnot, and then we got. Let's just get to this finish. So the idea that they're going for is that like the Fiend is like this fucking boogeyman that can't be put down, which is not like how I envisioned this match going at all. But Seth curb stomped him, I think, a dozen times within this match, and at one point, like after like however many curb stomps, he kicks out at one. I'm just gonna do the analysis before I get into it. So Seth gets like a chair and like does like this chair shot to the head, but he's laying down. He's obviously not hitting him. And then proceeds to like put him like there's like a ladder, a chair between that, the other side of the ladder, and I assume like this was to give his head like some room or something, but it looks fucking dumb. Like whatever he's going, like it looks like he's just scrambling around for like random shit. And then he gets a toolbox. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be like shades of WrestleMania. We're gonna see some like weird shit going on. But he gets a fucking toolbox. It just bangs the ladder, chair, whatever the fuck's going on here. Tools are flying out of this thing. Probably the most dangerous fucking part of this match. Tools are flying out, so he goes and gets a hedgehammer. This takes like, we're at like 7 minutes or something that this took. Bray Wyatt has been laying down this entire time. Seth did not go for a pin after several curb stomps. Goes and gets a sledgehammer. And, oh, I forgot, he pedigreed him. Pedigrees him. Goes and gets a sledgehammer. In shades of Triple H, I get it. And then the ref tries to like stop him, like physically stop him. He's like, no, you don't want to do this, Seth. And then Seth waits a while, does it anyway. We're at like 8 minutes now, I think. The entire crowd is booing. Everyone is just booing the shit out of what's going on in the ring right now. Because we can see that this is supposed to be the finish. And it's going to be a bullshit ass WWE finish on like one of the most important weeks in wrestling. And it's taking down a guy who's white hot to just boost up Seth Rollins, who's going to turn into another. This is why we boo John Cena. This is why we boo Roman Reigns. Now let's do the same thing to Seth Rollins. You could argue that they were doing that to Kofi Kingston, but Kofi Kingston, they fucking buried, and now I'm a little bit, like can I, and I want to rant about that too. The fact that on the same week that you're gonna end Kofi's like dream run, you're gonna have him beat Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, Dolph Ziggler, all these big dudes, established dudes, clean, and then he's gonna fucking lose in a couple seconds to Brock Lesnar so you can promote his match with shitty chest tattoos, Kane, whatever is. It sounds like Dean Malenko, but it's Kane. I don't give a shit. I don't like this dude. I don't give a shit about UFC fights in UFC or in WWE. I don't give a shit at all. I'm sorry. Oh, that's the guy who beat Brock Lesnar in UFC. Cool. That's a real fight. I don't care. Fucking Braun Strowman could probably beat a lot of like all these guys. I don't give a shit who would win in a real fight. I care about storylines and fun wrestling competitions, like athleticism based on effort and not trying to take out the other dude. Whatever. So, This finish. Let's talk about. Let's just run down the line of all the things WWE fucked up. First off, Hell in a Cell. It's a dumb pay-per-view. It's a dumb match type. The last two big Hell in a Cell matches you had, ruined it. Like the New Day Usos match is probably the last good Hell in a Cell match we've had, and that was the first one in a long time. Like, why are we having like these Undertaker Triple H Hell in a Cell matches where they're not interacting with the cell at all? And then we got some like Sasha Becky, where it's like, okay, this was cool. Then later in the night, you're gonna ruin it. You're gonna fucking ruin it. You're gonna have a referee. Keep in mind that Sledgehammer's like this other Hell in a Cell matches just keeps going. Just doesn't like why the referee thought he had to stop the match was made no fucking sense. Like a guy who's pinning out at 1, a couple minutes later is going to get booked for no contest because he can't compete. What? Oh, and we stop it over a sledgehammer shot. Despite the fact that Bray Wyatt had a giant fucking hammer earlier in this match, and you could say, "What? Oh, like it's fucking plastic." We're trying to keep up kayfabe. That hammer should be as strong as a normal sledgehammer, and he just whacks Seth with it. Like, what the fuck is going on? The curb stomp is never gonna look. It was already teetering. After that shit they pulled with Braun Strowman, they made Braun look good at least. Like, I was a little bit upset about that. It was what it was, though. This, though. Like, I'm all for the Fiend. I'm all for him. But I'm completely against this idea that, like, we gotta make a guy who can't be, like, defeated. Like, if you're gonna do that, like, give him, like, superpowers and shit, like, get around it somehow. What I thought, like, the finish was gonna be would be, like, something along the lines of, like, Seth would, like, take his mask off, and then Bray's, like, he puts his hand to his ears, and he's, like, freaking out, and, like, then Seth can, like, I don't know, roll him up, maybe, like, in a different time, like, when the Fiend isn't white hot, maybe get a curb stomp, beat him then. And then, like, the Fiend comes back stronger. I don't know. I wouldn't have booked this match if I wasn't planning on Seth losing the belt. It was dumb. Obviously, this is one of those times that, like, you have to give it to the guy. Why? Like, WWE does this. This guy, Bray Wyatt, makes something really fucking cool for you. You fucking actually book it well. There's actually effects and shit. You know, we got Pyro back. This was, like, a really, like, WWE has been a lot better lately. It has been phenomenally better than what it was even just a couple months ago. And then, like, I swear to God, the second, like, Kofi lost that belt, I lost all hope. I was like, new sets, Pyro, I'm like a little fucking kid in a candy store, man. And then they pull this shit. And then, like, on top of Kofi getting buried, like, this is, like, back-to-back, like, what are you doing? Like, I physically, like, people were chanting, restart the match, restart the match. And there was, like, even, like, this little hesitation from Bray during that moment. And it's audible as shit. AEW chants. That's going to be a new thing because of this fucking moment right here. They haven't been chanting AEW. They are now. So, this is just another case in point. Like, I don't know if WWE was like, oh, we gotta like make it last till Survivor Series. What about Crown Jewel? He's just gotta look like a strong champion for that. Or I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't want to take the belt off Seth. I thought he had a 2 good runs with it. He's like the main boy. He's good. We got the point across. Now he needs a bad guy to take him off his throne. But no. like WWE does so much to just spin its wheels. It books itself in stupid ways that destroys its own lore, destroys its own established dudes and established women, just to uh, run its wheels. My brain. I just woke up, by the way. My brain is fried. I think that's gonna be it. Terrible, terrible ending. I don't know what. Whose idea was it to end the thing like this? Like, if I was like in a meeting room with Vince McMahon and the boys, and they were like, "Okay, this is why we gotta do it," like, and then they like explained it to me a type of way, like I can see myself kind of be like, "Okay," and then like it's one of those things like you turn around a minute later, like, "No, that's fucking stupid," um, and that's one of those things like the second you heard that crowd, like you should have been like, "No, we gotta do something." The crowd was livid. Rightfully so. I would have been very upset if I would have bought a ticket for this to see the show end. Oh, and Bray, like they were about to get the stretcher out. If they would have stretched it out, Bray, I would have been. Oh my god. But he gets up like before they get the stretcher. He goes for the mandible claw, and then beats up Seth for a while, and that's how the show ends. So we're gonna book Bray Strong. He's gonna lose the match to a no contest. He's gonna bury Seth's finisher, and Seth is gonna walk out with the title. Like, I gotta. I'm done. I'm done. Thank you. Bye.